Welcome to Portland City Council. City Council represents all Portlanders and keeps to do the city's business. The presiding officer preserves order and decorum during city council meetings so everyone can feel welcome, comfortable, respected, and safe. To participate in council meetings, you may sign up in advance with the council clerk's office for communications to briefly speak about any subject. You may also sign up for public testimony on resolutions or the first readings of ordinances. Your testimony should address the matter being considered at the time. If it does not, you may be ruled out of order.
As it
When
sounds,
testifying, please state your name
A-U-D-I-T.
for the record. Your address is not necessary. Please disclose if you are a lobbyist. If you are representing an organization, please
As
identify
it
it.
sounds.
The presiding officer determines the length of testimony. Individuals generally have 3 minutes to testify unless otherwise stated. When you have 30 seconds left, a yellow light goes on. When your time is done, a red light goes on. If you're in the audience and would like to show your support for something you said, please feel free to do a thumbs up. If you want to express that you do not support something, please feel free to do a thumbs down. Please remain seated in council chambers unless entering or exiting. If you are filming the proceedings, please do not use bright lights or disrupt the meeting. Disruptive conduct such as shouting or interrupting testimony or council deliberations will not be allowed. If there are disruptions, a warning will be given that further disruption may result in the person being ejected for the remainder of the meeting. After being ejected, the person who fails to leave the meeting is subject to arrest for trespass. Thank you for helping your fellow Portlanders feel welcome, comfortable, respected, and safe.
Thank you. And I should have mentioned that Mel Wheeler is out of the country representing our city with our sister city of Sapporo in Japan. That's why I get to be the presiding officer. Could you please read item 975? I believe we have a prearranged substitute to speak.
Yes, it is a request of Steve Trujillo to address the council regarding the West Side Public Safety Action Coalition.
Good morning. You have 3 minutes. Please state your name for the record.
My name is Steve Trujillo. I'm here today to introduce to you the West Side Public Safety Action Coalition, it will be first, also it's the West Side Peace Act. As concern about public safety has increased across the city of Portland, a diverse group of stakeholders representing the west side of the city has come together to explore collaborative ways for improving safety livability for everyone across Multnomah County. The Peace Act is a registered Oregon nonprofit and an established board, officers, and standing committees. The mission of Peace Act is to be a voice for the community, to interact with residents, government, nonprofits, local businesses in support of programs to reduce crime and create a safe, clean, and welcoming Portland. Our goals include the following: to achieve increased funding for jail beds, to reduce the revolving door that often puts often violent offenders immediately back on the streets. We aim to ensure to have offender accountability and access to justice for victims, to promote clear guidance and direction for law enforcement and enforce ordinances and laws deemed as a community priority, and to support effective efforts to establish a compassionate avenue to manage the rising drug epidemic, and establish the support for more effective aftercare and wraparound services for those accessing drug treatment. All of these are multifaceted challenges, and we hope to build partnerships with other organizations to coordinate efforts to manage public safety concerns. We also intend to focus on data and research to inform and support best practices for effecting sustainable change. The West Side Peace Act represents neighborhoods and other communities working together to advance agency and dignity for all. We hope to serve as a model for the entire county to make things safer, vibrant, and more comfortable for everyone. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Next item, please.
Item 976, request of Evelyn Moyo to address the council regarding safety issues in the city.
Good morning.
Welcome.
My name is Evelyn Moyo, and I would like to address what I feel is a deteriorating situation in Portland. I was born here. I've lived here pretty much all my life. I teach public high school, and I would like to be able to at least walk on my street to and from my car in a safe manner. Portland used to be pristine, safe, friendly, and it's none of that anymore. It's not good for business, it's not good for the residents, and it's not good for people.
Hippie, no.
Yeah.
Oh, he's out of the country.
I think we're getting ahead of ourselves. I think that's a D. White.
Sorry. I'm sorry right now.
Thank you. And it's not good for the people who are living on the streets. they're in a terrible situation. It's not kind to them, and it's not good for us either. I think that the Portland police have been pretty much castrated of their power. I am actually one of the people with Alan Graff who conducted a lawsuit years ago against the Portland police, but the pendulum has swung so far to the left that it is not working out for any of us. And I would like somebody, some people, something to happen so we can clean this up, make it safe for everyone, for street people and for us. Thank you.
Ma'am, can I, since you didn't use all your time, I
Mission
can just
position.
jump in for 1 second.
Yeah.
I had lunch yesterday with a downtown developer who said that he is often in social settings where people express concerns about the very things that you mentioned. And his response is, okay, I'll make you king or queen for a day. Tell us
I can't tell you.
what we should be doing that we're not doing. So
I can tell
because
you.
you have a minute and a half left, I'll
Thank
give you an
you.
opportunity to tell us what you recommend we do differently.
Thank you, I shall. So obviously, what we are doing is not working for anyone. What I would do is make it easy for people to get off drugs that want to, get off meth who want to, give them work, do something, education, something. Don't just put them back on the streets, because it's going to never stop if you do that. There has to be something, either say, you must get rehabilitated, you have to clean up, but you can't just go back on the streets. It's not okay for them, it's inhumane. There has to be some kind of program for people to get well again, or at least halfway well, something. Because like I said, just putting them back on the streets is not working. Portland is not physically or fiscally capable of just setting up little houses everywhere. That's not going to make people better by just handing out more and more things. They have to get help, real help.
So if I can just let you know that there is a large community conversation going on right now about how we can generate quite a lot of money to provide services. And I think what you're talking about is making sure that someone who's addicted gets the treatment, gets a bed somewhere.
And also who has mental illness.
Making sure people get services they need. It's going to take a lot of resources, and we have we're not getting a lot of resources from the state or the federal government to help with this. We're also, as you probably know, we have some our ranking as a state in terms of access to services for people battling addiction is very poor. But the good news is there is a broader conversation about taking this moment and generating some dollars so that people who would have the choice of treatment if they chose. So if you would leave your contact information with my office down here, I'll make sure that that we keep you posted on that conversation, because I think you will be able to support it. We'll all have to dig a little deeper, but I think there is a path forward that's humane and also provides services people need. And, so I'd like to.
But
keep you
Portland
posted.
needs to be safe for everyone, not, you know.
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to correct a couple of things. Portland Police Bureau is lacking 100 positions. It is
You want the police
Ma'am,
in?
I am talking now, your time has been completed. Again, Portland Police Bureau is down over 100 officers. It has been challenging to find people who actually want to be police officers in the city of Portland, and that's for a variety of reasons. Just like the variety of people who find it hard to be able to work, find a place to live, and live a thriving life in Portland, the people who are on our streets run the gambit. And I'm offended when people paint them all with one brush, like they're all addicted, they're all this, they're all that. Every individual you talk to has the individual story.
Absolutely.
And I can tell you that from where I have influence, I am creating what's called the Portland Street Response. That will be a more humane approach to engaging people, but for grace would be I, who are living on the street. And so it's important that we not assume that we know what people's lived experience is, and that we actually talk to them. And
I
so-
do. I live by
so
the
I-
steel
ma'am, your time
bridge
is up.
and I had 3 minutes.
Your
I
time-
didn't have
ma'am.
time to discuss every single
Thank you.
issue.
I just wanted to come back to the record because the police commissioner is out of the country. And I think it's not appropriate to leave on the record that somehow the police have been, what did you call them, defamed?
That was their decision, not hers.
That's totally not true.
They could have easily
Well, the
moved
police
to another
officers every single day
time when he
decide
was
whether
here.
they're gonna take a call or not, right? I keep asking, well, why didn't you do this instead of that? And they don't have a good answer, right? So it is a much more complicated situation than where you're able to articulate in 3 minutes. And I just wanted to clear some of the back it up. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for being.
Thank you.
Say hi to Alan for me.
I will. Thank you very much. Next item, please.
Item 977, request of Dean White to address council regarding the failure of the Water Bureau to deliver safe drinking water to its customers.
Good morning.
Good morning, my name is Dee White. Even after the Flint lead crisis in 2014, and even after Newark, New Jersey's recent lead crisis, Portland Water Bureau is still allowing a potent neurotoxin to leach into our drinking water while they slow walk a risky fix that's 3 years away. It is well known that even at low levels, lead is a potent, irreversible neurotoxin that's especially damaging to expectant mothers and children's developing brains. Groundbreaking research at OHSU found a link between lead exposure and ADHD. Why does this matter here? The Portland Water Bureau is the only utility in the country granted permission 22 years ago by their regulator, the Oregon Health Authority, to not follow the EPA's lead and copper rule, otherwise known as the LCR. Instead, the Water Bureau crafted their own regulation and called it the LHRP. OHA gave it their blessing, and it still stands today. This outdated Portland-only regulation focuses on mitigating lead paint in lieu of properly treating corrosive water and maintaining our pipes. Moreover, after decades of this unproven regulation, there is no data, no findings, nothing to show that the Portland Water Bureau has minimized lead exposure in our homes, schools, parks, and businesses. Nothing. If the Portland Water Bureau had been following the federal lead law, like the cities on this chart, Portland's lead levels would be significantly lower. So on this chart, Portland and Gresham are in the middle there. They're the two tall ones. Gresham is a Water Bureau customer. Seattle got to work decades ago. Newark is handing out free water filters and replacing damaged pipes. Our water officials simply chat up the water at the same time they blame customers if they find lead at their taps. You claim transparency, and yet no one knows about your Portland-only regulation that's broken and that continues to endanger public health. The public also remains in the dark about buying an $800,000 job shack on today's agenda for the massive filtration plant being sold to us for crypto, but now apparently it's for wildfires. Project costs just went up an obscene 142% because of the Water Bureau's gross lack of transparency. How can we trust you are delivering safe, affordable, life-sustaining drinking water when omissions and an opaque process is standard operating procedure? In other words, what else have we been misled about?
If anybody is concerned about lead in their water, you can go call 823-4000 get a free lead testing kit, and then I always run my tap water for 2 minutes anyway. Thank you very much. Next item, please.
Item 978, request of Rachel Davies to address council regarding code 3.96.
Good morning.
My name is Rachel Davies. I'm the chair of the Preston Kenilworth Neighborhood Association. We support the Committee 3.96's necessary work. The strength of our city lies in its diversity of voices coming together and learning to work in harmony. We agree that city code should provide equal access for all residents to be involved in shaping city affairs and have access to city bureaus regardless of the avenue that they choose. Preston Kenilworth is one of the poorest parts of southwest Portland. We have multiple low-income housing complexes. Half our grade school kids qualify for free or reduced price lunches, and we have a high percentage of renters. We are also home to immigrants and refugees from all over the world. Our neighborhood is quiet